So in the last class we started with our fifth unit, which is applications of DIP in various domains, and we talked about satellite imaging and radar imaging. In today's class we are going to talk about sonar imaging and applications of DIP in medical areas. Okay, so now working principle of sonar is just like a radar, but instead of sending the radio waves, here we emit the high frequency sound waves, and sonar stands for sound navigation and ranging, and its basic application is for the navigation task, and it is used for the submarines, used by the submarines. So its applications are navigation, seabed mapping, fishing, ocean drilling, oil exploration, and mine detection. And when we capture an image using sonar system, those images will be known as sonar images, and usually they will have very less resolution. Okay, that's why we rarely use sonar system for capturing the images. These are few examples of sonar images. As you can see, it is having very less resolution, and objects are barely visible in these images. So this is you can see the old tire on the seabed, and this is the image of a crocodile. And there is very less information about the sonar imaging on the web, as it is majorly used for the navigation task. So that is regarding sonar imaging. Okay, now let us talk about medical imaging. So in medical field, we capture the images of internal structure of the patient so that the specialist could diagnose the patient in a better way. So here we focuses on uncovering and revealing internal structures which are hidden under the skins and bones. Those medical images will assist the surgeons and physicians in diagnosing the disease and performing the surgeries for the patients. So the medical imaging is used to analyze, diagnose, recognize, and treat the illness or disease. Okay, so here we use the combination of hardware and image processing techniques. Okay, so if you just have a hardware, so it is not like that you will get the images that you want. Okay, so you have to perform some image processing tasks, okay, to get the better result. Okay, so you will apply some noise filtering techniques, some morphological operation, so that I will explain through some examples. Okay, so we will have different hardwares, okay, capable of emitting rays in various bands, and then we will have some dedicated hardware for performing image processing techniques. We are familiar with this X-ray imaging, CT scanners, ultrasound, then MRI. So we'll see these techniques one by one. So first application is the radiography. Okay, so it is used for the bone scan, and majorly we use X-rays in radiography. So it uses electromagnetic radiation, especially X-ray imaging. So now what is the process here? So we will have some source which will emit the X-rays, and patient will be placed between the source and the detector. Okay, now these rays will pass through the patient's body. Now so as per the internal structures of the patient, some of the energy will be absorbed by those internals, and this detector will be a sensitive film, and that the energy which is coming out of the patient body will be collected by this detector, and the image will be formed. So these are few examples of the X-ray images. Now what are the applications of radiography? So it is used for the dental examination, then orthopedic evaluation, like for detection of fractures, and along with this medical areas, it is also used in industry applications for the inspection. Now let us talk about MRI, that stands for magnetic resonance imaging. So unlike X-ray imaging, here we use radio waves, and along with that we use the magnetic field to capture the image. So now these are well suited to image the non-bony parts or soft tissues of the body. Okay, so here the applications are clinical diagnosis, tumor detection in human brain, and these are few sample images of MRI. So this is the MRI image of a spine, and this is the MRI image of a knee. So endoscopy is like a looking inside for a medical diagnosis. So here, so this tube, can you see this tube? That tube is known as endoscope, and that tube is actually a flexible tube, and it consists of two smaller tubes. First will be a light source, okay, so it will illuminate the internal structure of the patient, and another tube will be having the camera. Okay, so that tube will be inserted through the nose or the mouth of a patient, and it will allow the specialist to see internal without have to cut anything. Okay, now what is the purpose of this endoscopy? To find the cause of symptoms such as pain, difficulty in swallowing, and gastrointestinal bleeding. Okay, it will also detect the blockages in the tissue to diagnose coronary artery disease. Next application is the CT scan, and CT stands for computed tomography. So now, unlike radiography where the source was stationary, here the source will be rotating around the patient's body. Okay, so this is the equipment used for capturing the CT scans. Okay, so here we will have the motorized X-ray source. Okay, so after the completion of one rotation, then this bed will move forward for taking the next image, and that images is known as slice, also known as tomographic image. Okay, so here we will get a number of slices. Okay, now this slice can be stacked together to create a 3D image of the patient. Okay, for example, you can create the 3D image of a brain of the patient body. Okay, so now what are the applications of CT scans? To identify disease or injury, to detect possible tumors or lesions within the abdomen, to image the head in order to locate injuries, tumors, clots, to image complex bones fractures. Now next application is ultrasound. So it is used to image inside the body. Ultrasound probes. Okay, this equipment is known as ultrasound probe or transducer. It produces the sound waves. Okay, ultrasound. It produces the ultrasound, and it is capable of emitting the ultrasound, and it can also detect the ultrasound echoes which are coming from the patient's body. Okay, it will perform the two tasks. It will produce the ultrasound, and it will detect its echo also. Now when these echoes hit the transducer, they generate electrical signals that are sent to the ultrasound scanner. Okay, this is how these images are formed. Now applications are: monitor the growth and development of the fetus. So we are familiar with this application. It is also used to image the heart, blood vessels, eyes, thyroid, brain, abdominal organs, skin, and muscles. Okay, so now before placing this transducer, the specialist will apply the gel on the skin so that there should be no air gaps between the transducer and the patient's body. Okay, that will affect the ultrasound image. Next one is the PET, that is positron emission tomography. Now here we use the gamma rays. Okay, so now before taking the PET image, so the specialist will inject one radioactive isotope in the patient's body. Okay, now as that isotope will decay, it will emit the gamma rays, and those gamma rays will be captured by the gamma ray detector, and this is how the image is formed in this technique. Now next technique is angiography. Okay, so here also we use the X-rays, but the working principle is little bit different. So here we inject the X-ray contrast medium. Okay, now that will enhance the contrast of that particular vessel, okay, as compared to the other body part, okay, and then we can detect the irregularities or blockages in that blood vessels or the arteries. Okay, so this is the working of angiography. So angiography is actually comes under radiography. Okay, these are few examples, extra examples. So these are the ultrasonic image of infant. Okay, so now when you take the original ultrasound image of the infant, you will not get this continuous shape. Now few morphological operations are applied to get this continuous shape like this in the on the head. You will not get continuous image. Now few region growing algorithms are applied to get this continuous head region. So we are, along with the hardware, you have to use some image processing techniques to in the medical areas. So along with the these four techniques, we use image processing in various fields also, like industrial inspection to check the PCB boards whether the pills are filled properly or not, to check the surface of the material, whether we have bubbles in that surface, whether the liquid is filled properly or not, to check the texture of the material, to observe extraterrestrial objects. OCR stands for optical character recognition, automatic number plate recognition. Then it is also used extensively in biometric fields also. These are multi-channel images of pulsar stars, okay, which are very far, very means hundred of light years away from the earth. Okay, so this is gamma channel image, X-ray image, then optical, okay, visible band image, then infrared and radio wave image. Okay, as you can see, we are having different information in each channel. Okay, so in this way we have completed all the 5 units of DIP, and we have also completed our lab work